Hello and welcome. We are at episode 10, so that's pretty exciting for the driving show here. Well, let me ask you, as always, to start things off, have you exercised today? Have you gone to the gym, gotten some good cardio in? Whatever it looks like, it is so worth taking the time out of your day to even just spend 20-30 minutes. It can be something small to make sure that you are getting your fitness in and taking care of yourself and your health. Sorry, I have to cut across like 3 lanes to get on the freeway, and then there's this old lady that's on a bike, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, and I'm not trying to stick my car out in danger, all while talking to you, die on live. Yeah, wouldn't want that to happen. But hopefully you guys had a nice Father's Day weekend. It's pretty good over here. Today, though, at the gym, I'm going to be, I think, doing legs because, let me tell you, I've been mostly swimming because last week I was sick for basically the whole week, but slowly getting better. Here's my chance. And I am mostly better, so that's good. I just have the remnant of like a runny nose here and there, so it's not as constant as it was. And just some like congestion where my voice still sounds a little different, or like my ears will get plugged, so annoying. But I was swimming a ton last week because I didn't want to touch the weights and, potentially get anyone else sick, so it was better just to be on my own. But because of that, and then on Saturday I did a bunch of yard work for like Friday and Saturday, 3 different houses, and then our house as well. But my hands are just ruined yet again with being so dried out. And I do wear gardening gloves when I do anything. I have like measures in place, tons of coconut oil that I'm always putting on my hands. But my thumb, especially my right thumb for some reason, was just in so much pain, and you see like cracks in it and like, ooh. So what I started doing for that was like I put the coconut oil, and then I put a Band-Aid over it because the Band-Aid like holds the moisture in, it seems. And so that would help. But all to say, I'm not going in the pool, at least today, because I didn't go to the gym yesterday. I take Sundays off usually. So that's at least 2 days if I don't swim today. So hopefully that will help get my hands a bit back to how they should be. But all to say, that's why I have to do legs, which I'm not looking forward to, but I haven't done it in a while. So, I'm always super sore after working out the legs, which is good, But also I learned sometimes, because I'm not really used to doing the legs as much, or just like knowing that it's a ton of your body that is in pain when you are sore. So I'll be like getting through the day, like the day after, and I'm like, I just feel awful. Why? Or like I feel crabby, and I'm like, Michael, it's just because the whole lower half of your body is sore from working out. So don't worry, you're fine. You're not actually, hurting or, need to do anything other than just like rest, take it easy. But today for working, let's talk about that. So I made a list, and that's something that I've talked about a lot on the reels, but it's something that I found to be so helpful when coming into this week. I knew I had a lot to do because being sick, I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to, and I'm like, Monday, I've got a lot to do. But if you remember, it's also that day I go to the young adult group at my church, which means I don't have a ton of time in the day, and I need to make dinner early, which is like, so much to do. But if you start out like right as you're finishing breakfast, end that with writing out a list, I found that to be so helpful, where right now I've got just about over half of the list done of what I need to do, and part of that is dinner and going to that group. So I was like, I can't complete those until the end. But what I do need to do is record 2 different videos for the welcome series. So I talked about this last episode, where I have that when you join, you choose if you're current or aspiring, and then I would send you different links to things that can help you where you're at. And a lot of how I have my old website is you just have to read and kind of click through and choose, which I think is fun, but nowadays people don't like to read, and they're not going to do that. So because of that, I decided I'm going to do like the video format of that. So I have it all set up in my computer, and so when I get back this afternoon from the gym, I'm just going to jump straight into that. I'm going to start with the current owners, and then also get to the aspiring owners, and then I do need to write email going out to the main mailing list that I have, And my goal for that is that I want to ask them, like, hey, take a survey. Are you current or aspiring? And when you do, you're going to get to see this new resource that I just created. I'm not going to say yesterday, but if they're paying attention, then they'll know, like, it's pretty new and fresh. And I mean, you'll see in the views, like, no views or 4 views, very low view count. And then ideally, too, for the small business community that I have, and those are owners that have been on the podcast that have decided to join that, then I'll send them either both resources or at least the one for current, because they are a current business owner, and then see if they have any feedback from that, or just get their overall feedback. Because the cool thing, and that's something that I need to lean into more, is that I've talked to over 40 owners, and I've gone through, and just recently I brought on Jesse, who has been helping me edit them, and he's already finished editing all of them, so we're good until July but I spend hours not only prepping, talking to them, editing, posting on social media, that I was like, man, I've actually learned a ton, not even just from my journey, but from everyone that I've talked to on the podcast. So the videos I'm putting together for these different aspiring and current are made up of not only my own experience, but the experiences of those that I've come into contact with, that I've been working with and just connecting with over this time. So that is something that's exciting, and something that as I get back to interviewing people, that's a topic that I'm still trying to figure out, because there are, as I'm listening back, I like all the episodes and I think they're a lot of fun, but I'm trying to figure out, do I keep doing the same thing, or do I need to make some tweaks here and there? And I think what I've been learning overall, and this is something that you could take in your own business too, is at the end of the day, it is better to be focused in on who your person is, so who you are in the business to serve. And yes, of course, you want to serve everyone, you want everyone to buy your products, I want everyone to listen to my podcast of course, right? That's just the human nature of you want to be successful, you want to help everyone you can. But as you focus in on serving, say, this one person, there will be overflow and you will get other people. So when I'm thinking of that as a business, that's when I really honed in on we're here to help you start, build, promote your business. Boom, 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 have it on my water bottle. Join us today, join the email list, and that's, as you join it, that's what you're getting into. And in the past, I feel I wanted to do both current, aspiring, so those are the owners, and then also the supporter side of most of my family, they don't have, say, a small business. Well, they do actually, but they're not looking to start or build one really, but they want to support people. And so I wanted to do everything, and I still do, so I'm excited for when I can get back to that. But I've decided that I am really just going to focus on the owners now. And so that's when it comes to the podcast, is I still want people to be able to share their story and journey, and ultimately lead listeners to support them. So overall, it's basically the same thing. Really, what I would maybe just be changing is some of the questions, or adding more questions, maybe focusing more on the tips and tricks for aspiring and current people, which we do get that within the podcast. But I know when I'm listening back to it, I love when the current owners always share what they would have told themselves when they were first starting out, or what they would tell themselves and what they would tell other people. And I think that is one of the most exciting and kind of impactful things, so that as you are listening, maybe you don't have business yet, you can listen to it and you're man, this is exciting, I can't wait to get pumped up and to jump into this. And then if they are not already a part of Fisher Philbrick, we plug them in, we send them that video of hey, you choose you're an aspiring owner, cool, here's all the resources we have to get you set up and going, and so forth. So I think that would be really exciting. But then also at the same time, we usually ask for advice for current owners, or what they've learned. And even the episode coming out this week, which I think is really exciting, Anita and her business Dewdrop Digital Agency, she does social media marketing, and that's one that is it's a tricky subject for I think almost every small business owner. But it's a really great episode where she can come in and really help you out in basically planning out and seeing the analytics, kind of figuring out a plan of how to get your social media and marketing going. But one of the advice that she had shared that's coming up for current owners is that you can't be friends with all your clients. Like, she was saying it's really hard because for her to get to know, like, she will create and do her job better if she knows you and is friendly with you. And a lot of when she started the business was she would become friends with the people. But then as she's grown as a business, she's come across other people that, you know, they only want to be strictly professional. They don't want any chit chat. They don't, you know, they don't want anything but like cut and dry. This is it. And so she was saying like that was kind of a hard lesson, because when you are like super friendly, which basically everyone on the show we have, like, they are here doing what they're doing because they want to help people. They want to serve other people. They want to bring their talents and gifts to people and solve like pain points and problems that they saw in their own life or loved ones. So when you're kind of struck with that, like, I'm just here for this, I don't want anything else, it can be kind of brutal. But I think that's what is exciting as you hear from all these owners, is you hear like, man, you really hear what they go through, and it really helps you out as well in your own story and journey. So today, as I'm getting to the gym now, that's what I really want to nail down, are those 2 videos for current and aspiring people, so that as you sign up, then you can have that as a resource that should be really helpful. And then for the people that are already on my list, the really cool thing with using Beehive, which is that new email platform, is that you can create surveys and then automations that get triggered by when someone takes a survey. So right now on the main Fisher Philbrick one, I've got 10 people. I know, maybe sad to say, but also shows you the truth. Okay, I've got 10 people. I'm actually excited about all of those 10 people, but they were existing. So I don't know. I mean, I know which are current and which are aspiring owners, but let's just say I don't know if they are current or aspiring. So what I can do, and what I was setting up this morning that I need to finish along with all of that, is I'm creating a survey just like I have when you sign up for the welcome series, and it's asking, are you current or are you aspiring? And then based on what those 10 people say, I will trigger an email that says, cool, here's that new resource I was telling you about. So I will incentivize them to, you know, take the survey, because that will actually add that title in a custom field to the profile. So going forward, if I know if they're aspiring or current, I can create content and really communicate the best way that I can based on where they're at. And the goal would be that you would change from an aspiring owner to a current owner, not the other way around, like when I failed the coffee business. But it's a lot of work to do, and I kind of had been talking a lot today, but we'll see. Maybe the gym will reset my voice a bit. And really, doing so much theater as I've done, the show must go on and we can make it work. So I'm excited for that, and I'll keep in contact with you all. But for now, we also did announce the giveaway winner. So I know Alessia, she's live on it now, or, you know, she usually tunes in. So that was actually really exciting. We just announced the winner for that. So you can catch that on both of our profiles, so AC Prodigy or Fisher Philbrick. She made a really cool reel announcing that. And that was actually one of the most successful giveaways that I've ever done, all thanks to her account and followers, because I'm still trying to figure out and working on the whole engagement, social media. Yeah, so the podcast this week was very helpful. But definitely check that out and just give support to any small business owner you can, because these people are working so hard and they are such awesome people. So if you haven't worked out yet, got some steps in, got your heart rate up, go and do so now. That's what I'm headed to now, and we'll talk to you guys soon. That was a terrible trying to turn it off.